obviously coming off a hell of a season for the Mavericks. How do you feel about the future of the Mavericks? Because people are pretty optimistic around here.
I would be. I mean, shoot, you got Luka Doncic in his prime, and Kyrie looks like he has got a lot left. I know there was, somebody asked him that question during one of those pressers, like, how much longer do you want to play? I'm like, I don't know. The guy's still in his early 30s, and he's great, I mean, so you have those two guys. That works. You've constructed a team around them that seems like it should work. And so the only thing they have now to do is, A, keep it together, and B, get better. But I would feel pretty good about that. I mean, there's a lot of teams that win. And, I thought Denver was poised to have kind of a dynasty, just in the sense that they had young stars. They're all under team control and all that. And then, now you look and they might lose KCP, or they already traded Reggie Jackson. And, that team's getting a little more expensive because Jamal's on a max contract. Like, if you look at, Luka's obviously going to get a giant contract extension next summer, but I don't think that most of the rest of their guys, like Kyrie's on a very good deal for how good he is. I mean, he's just played year one of a 3-year deal. So I think they got a nice window here.
Around here, a lot of people are like, crediting hey, Mark Cuban sells the team, and then the team goes on this kind of run. This was good for the Mavericks because they were able to free up and do some things without Mark interfering. I was just kind of curious from that other national perspective. Is Mark Cuban not being involved with the Mavs as much good for the NBA as a lot of Mavs feel it's good for the Mavs?
That's interesting. I hadn't heard that from the local perspective. I guess from the national perspective, we still see him there all the time.
Yeah.
And he still seems involved. Although to be honest, you're right. When I deal with like Mavs business stuff, or when I'm talking about their future or moves they've made, I mostly would talk to Jason Kidd or Nico. Nico really has a lot of power now. He's really in charge. And I don't know if you guys realize how good Nico is. Like he's in terms of managing superstars and relationships, he was the best when he was at Nike. I mean, he had everyone, and that's not an easy gig. And so I think it's translated really well to the NBA in that space. I've met Patrick, the new owner. I've met him a couple of times. He was always, floating around at games during the playoffs. I said hello to him, and we talked for, 10, 15 minutes. I don't know how involved he is yet. My sense of this is that it's really this year and the moves that they made because of when the ownership sale was. Mark was still involved, maybe not as involved as in the past. Maybe he didn't have quite as much say. But I definitely thought it was much more Nico doing what he wanted to do this year.
How much do you think Klay Thompson has got left in the tank? Because obviously he'll be rumored with a lot of teams. The Mavericks are one of them.
Yeah.
What do you think he still brings to the table?
I mean, listen, the dude shot 40% from three, and he's not an elite defender anymore, but he's still pretty good. I mean, he's not like he used to be an elite defender. Now he's, let's say if we're saying out of 100, he used to be a 95. Now he's probably an 80. Okay. But he's still pretty good as a defender. Like he's not a hole out there. He's not somebody you have to cover up for. He's just the thing with Klay, he's just got to stop taking bad shots. So what happens when you kind of lose a step or you lose a little bit is sometimes you try harder. When he's at his best, when you go back to the Klay Thompson glory years, he never dribbled. He was just catch and shoot. What was it when he scored 37 points in a quarter?
Yeah.
I think there was like 11 dribbles. Like he was just amazing at the catch and shoot game. Where Klay gets into troubles when he's dribbling all over the court and he takes bad shots because he feels like he has to, or he has to force it, or he may not get another shot. And I think, being in a new environment, I think that might be a good thing for him. There's still a chance he returns to Golden State. Nothing would surprise me. I lean towards him right now. I lean towards him leaving, but let's see what the Warriors are able to do over the next couple of days. They've got a couple of big decisions and things that they're in on. So, I think Klay's got a lot left. You just can't count on him to be Klay Thompson from the Splash Brothers glory days. But if he's your fourth best player.
I got a text from my buddy who covers the Knicks.
Okay.
We've had him on the show before, but I asked him about Quentin Grimes, because he got to watch most of his career till he got traded to Detroit. and I said, can you give me a scouting report on Quentin Grimes? So I'm going to read a New York Knicks kind of, I don't even know if reporter is the right word, but a big-time podcaster.
Yeah.
Okay. As for Grimes, there were moments over the years where I thought we were looking at a slightly poor man's Klay Thompson. He is pretty close to elite when it comes to on-ball defense against guards, but his height is an issue when you slot him onto bigger wings. His shot started to elude him towards the end of his time in New York, but he's really, really good from distance. Can shoot off movement, high and quick release, elite from the corner. His biggest issue is that his ability to attack closeouts stagnated. He doesn't drive to score, seeks out pass too regularly, and defenses know it's coming. There's just been a general malaise to his offensive game since the end of 2022-23. All that said, if he gets his head right, I think the last year going sideways has really impacted him. He can be a big piece for you guys moving forward.
Okay, great.
Wow.
So that's a scouting report from somebody that's seen, literally every game of his New York Knicks career. So I think that's something to be optimistic about, the upside of what he's done in his small career so far.
I love hearing that elite corner three shooter.
And where do we stick our guys?
We love that.
Get over there, and if you're elite, Luka will find you.
So I think the Mavericks, in a way, we're looking at, hey, we got rid of Hardaway's contract, but I do think the Mavs might have got a player who can really help them next year. I'm assuming coming off the bench. I'm assuming, I don't know who's going to start, Washington or Gafford. I'm sorry, Gafford or Lively. And I don't really care. I don't know if you guys care or not. Maybe the players care. But
I don't care as much just because you got to see how they use them, but I understand why the player would.
And then
care.
I'm assuming Washington will start. That leaves one spot open for starting, which I think right now, if you get Derek Jones Jr. back, they will. But I don't know. Maybe you start Grimes and bring Jones off the bench. I don't know how that is going to be.